Welcome to Karate 360, your view to the whole karate world around the globe and back. I am one of the co-hosts, Rich Mosdell.
And I am the other co-host, Kalan Anglos. Thanks for tuning in, guys, to this episode of the Karate 360 podcast. Let's dive right on in.
Bring the theme song.
Karate 360, let's start the show. You will kick high and I will sweep low. From local to global, it's the thing that we love, karate. Sanrokumaru. Back for another episode in the Karate 360 studio.
Exactly.
Ready to go. I looked at what our first episode was.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was September 14th was our very first episode.
Wow.
So that's coming up for our 1 year anniversary.
Holy cow.
Holy smokes.
We were over 1 year of putting the project together because we started practicing over a year ago.
That's right.
That's right. That's why we so amazing.
That's right. We're just fine-tuned already.
Exactly. And then September, eh?
September 14th. That's when the first episode came out.
September 14th. Great.
So we'll keep that in mind. Whatever that podcast is, that's around September 14th. That'll be our
That's just us
anniversary.
opening champagne.
That's like, right. Just spraying it everywhere. That's going to be the whole episode.
The whole episode, right? That stuff's really cool. Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that?
Yes, for my graduation, my undergrad graduation, we did that.
Cool.
Yeah.
2001, I was competing at the All Japan Wadokai Nationals.
Okay.
And we had 2 men's kumite teams. I was on Takagi Sensei's Guseikai. It was Guseikai B team. The A team won. The men's team kumite.
Okay.
Big deal.
Big deal.
And the B team was 3 Japanese and 2 foreigners. I was one of the foreigners. Foreigners won all their matches.
Where was the other foreigner from?
The other one's from might be Iran.
Okay.
I could be wrong with that. I think he was from Iran. So 3 Japanese lost, 2 foreigners won.
Of course.
And then the A team won their thing. So anyway,
the A team.
That's what they're called. They were called the A team.
Yeah.
Guseikai A and Guseikai B. So then we all went to a bar after and celebrate. We had the big, huge trophy, a massive, trophy, and it's like literally the size of like the Grey Cup for the CFL.
Nice.
And so we're in this bar, and so they're pouring like. I think it might have just been beer. I know it might have been champagne. And so everybody has to hold it on the side, and we go, iki, iki, iki. It means like drink, right? And so like everyone, and like goes around like 30 people, and there's like 20 Canadians traveling, and we all get to drink it. So it takes ages, and we're eating food. And then suddenly all the Japanese guys run outside.
Oh. And
then so like I look outside the window, and the owner of the restaurant has this massive barrel full of ice with beer cans. Right? And then everyone's cracking open beer, shaking it, cracking it, and spraying each other.
Yeah.
And so I ran outside, like, this is great. It was so cold. So cold.
I've done that with pop.
Okay.
A baseball team when I was younger. We sprayed each other. We won a pretty big tournament that we weren't even supposed to compete in. And we were shaking them up and spraying each other with pop.
I've done it with pop cans.
Yeah, it gets a little sticky, though.
Yeah. Pop's sort of sticky.
Pop gets a little bit more sticky.
Yeah. So anyway.
That's all right. It reminds me of a trophy story that I have. On the island here in Camel River, little island, a little town here on Vancouver Island, they had what's called an island. Oh no, actually, it was just a tournament. It was just a tournament. Anybody, it was an open tournament. But they used to put together a challenge cup. They used to call it, which was just 3 males, 3 females from all the clubs on the island, or anybody who came. Put it together. You would all do kata. You would all do kumite. You would accumulate points based on winning the match in kata or however many points you got in kumite. And then whoever had the most points at the end would win the big trophy. And it was a pretty big trophy actually that they supplied in Camel River. Well, our club from Courtney, we won like 4 or 5 years in a row. And then Roy Sensei, the tournament director, he just shut it down. He said, "We're not going to do this anymore. You guys keep winning this trophy." But the trophy that we got it back every single year, and then we just like cycled it through the people. And I may or may not have misplaced the trophy amongst our moving, and I was freaking out. But then they canceled it the next year. So I was like, okay, well, whatever.
That's hilarious.
So that was my trophy story.
Well, we had a trophy donated for the Vancouver Karate Cup from Labatt's.
Oh, really?
And we weren't allowed to it was donated by Labatt's because it was a beer company and the event had so many kids in it. So we're like, all right, well, we can't put your name on this really expensive trophy.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
I actually walked into a trophy shop once looking for a trophy for the, did I tell you a story?
I don't
for
think
the Vancouver Karate Cup. So I'm in this trophy shop in Vancouver, and they've got a picture of a really nice trophy on the wall. like, wow, like that cup is beautiful. It's not too big, not too small, fits just right.
Yeah.
It looks good. It was a black and white picture, so it really stood out. I'm like I want that. And they said, that's a great cup.
So what? I can't have it.
I have it.
Like,
you know,
what's the big deal?
$50,000 at a foundry.
Knowing you're probably. I don't even know what that is.
I actually did know what it is
Okay.
because I had worked at Labatt's.
Okay, fair enough.
And I'd held the Stanley Cup once.
Yes.
But anyway, it was kind of fun.
That's good. How was your BC long weekend? It's BC Day here on Monday for all us BCites.
So it feels like 100 years ago. That's right.
It's crazy.
There was a long weekend.
It was a long weekend.
I took the kids to the Horticulture Center of the Pacific, which is wonderfully maintained gardens, literally only 5 minutes from here.
Okay.
And they have an amazing Japanese garden.
Oh, you took a picture, I think.
That's right.
Yeah,
built into like a slight hillside.
Yeah.
Just full of vegetation.
I thought that was straight from Japan.
I know. You know what? It looks just like Kamakura.
Ah.
Kamakura is a place hour south of Tokyo, which is really lush.
I thought it was just a random picture you found from Japan.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Richard must have been here.
I should take you guys there. It's really, really cool because it's this. I think they started working on it like in the 70s.
Okay.
And so, and Japanese gardens have lots of themes
Mhm.
about how they're supposed to be designed and the vegetation used. No, it's really, really nice.
Yeah,
I was really
yeah.
impressed. It's actually quite big. It's not just like a circle garden with a bunch of Japanese stuff. And there's a bonsai center, and well, it was actually great.
That's cool. That's really awesome.
Yep.
My long weekend, it completely screwed up my week. Like the long weekend was really good. I had family. I had my little sister come in to town. We did lots of good. Have you ever done an escape room?
Yes.
You've done an escape room. They had lots of fun. We went to an escape room. We didn't quite make it all the way out. We were like 2 hints or whatever away from getting out.
Rodney, you and Nick are horrible at escape rooms.
Are
I'm
they?
not too bad.
They're just so calculated.
I'm totally giving them shade.
That's funny. So we did escape room. It was all fun. The weekend was great, but I didn't get a lot of.
Did you look in the pockets?
We did.
Okay,
There was
okay.
definitely something in the
Okay,
pockets.
okay.
Yeah, underneath the doors. We did pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
There's only 3 of us. We did pretty good.
That's
We're just
good.
3 of us, but didn't do any work or anything for 3 days, which isn't normal for me. Usually 2 days, weekend the most. And I got in my own head Monday night, and I just could not get to sleep. Like I was like, holy smokes, I didn't get any work done. I was up like 4:30 in the morning, beating myself up. Not healthy behavior, I know, but I was still doing it. So I got up at like 4:30 in the morning, started working, and I thought, man, I'm going to be so tired for Tuesday, which was the first day of the week, the work week. And I was fine all day. I was no problem. Like had one coffee. I was like, I'm invincible. I only need 3 hours every night.
Yes,
I'm good to go. And then Wednesday came around, and it was just crash city. Like I was just absolutely done. So it threw off my whole entire weekend. And because it's a short work week, I've tried to fit all of my clients that I usually fit in 5 days into 4 days. So it's just like so busy working. And it's been a long week. I'm looking forward to Saturday. Let's put it that way. But
that's awesome.
Good. But it was a good week.
Only 3 hours of sleep.
Only 3 hours of sleep on Monday. That's all I need. That's all you need. I thought so on Tuesday. I was like, man, this is the trick to life.
Ladies and gentlemen, sleep is important.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Recovery is important. Get your sleep.
That's right. What do they say? Always wake up at the same time in the morning, even if you have to go back and have a nap.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of the trick they say.
Yep.
Now, I'm pretty envious of you because I know you can. I think you said like 30 seconds and you can be asleep.
Yes.
Ugh.
30 seconds.
Like you have a breathing routine or something. You
3
do. Is that
exhalations, I'm out. I mean, it took a lot of practice.
Sure.
I just go from 4.
Yeah. Okay. But the trick is 3.
Yeah. I had to work my way down. Yeah. It's tough because, I'm the type of person that I can look at social media, listen to music, read, and be working out, everything right till the moment like I need to sleep.
And then you're out.
And then, okay, just tell myself
Not
go
this
to
guy.
sleep.
Not this guy. I need about half hour of laying in bed before I'm even asleep. It's bad, but there we go. Talking sleep hygiene here on the Karate 360 podcast.
Let's pump it up with some news.
Yeah, let's pump it up with a little Karate Global news. All right, so getting into this week's Karate Global News, lots of stuff going on in the Olympic circle. Not a lot going on in the actual WKF tournament realm. Not a whole lot of tournaments coming, but this is the 1 year anniversary, so to speak, since karate's inclusion into the 2020 games. 1 year ago.
1 year ago.
We were sitting over there in the lobby.
That's right.
Looking at the
media all around
us. Hundreds of people in the building waiting.
It was incredible.
It was incredible. And waiting for the announcement. We knew it was going to come, but karate was in.
That's right. It's been a nice sunshine to have.
For sure.
It's nice being the new shiny kid on the block. It's also brought a lot of complexity with it.
It has, and I was just about to say that. It's kind of complicated things a little bit and almost forced the sport of karate to make some changes. I mean, there's still changes that are going to have to come in order to get to the to be prepared for the Olympics, but already you've seen karate change its landscape based off of that monumental announcement.
No, for sure. And the Olympic trials are going to start, and basically it's going to be a point system on maybe 5 or 7 tournaments.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it may even be public now. I haven't read it yet. And then you're gonna get points. The WKF will give points. I think it could be as high as 6,000 or 10,000 for being in first place, and then go down. And so anybody who wants to go to the Olympics, really, by like the middle of 2019, or even the middle of or end of 2018, if you don't have enough points, you'll never catch up.
Yeah.
Right. So it's that's pretty exciting.
Super exciting. Super exciting. We're gonna go.
Oh yeah.
The world's gonna go.
Oh, for sure, we'll be there.
It's gonna be good.
We'll be there for sure. We'll have press passes. That's what I'm working on.
That's right. Karate 360 press passes.
Exactly.
To the 2020 games. So it was good.
I mean, we put everybody can see the flag. This is the official Canadian Olympic flag behind us.
Yeah.
And we put it up. So,
and don't forget, we are expecting later, well, not this month, probably into September, we're going to find out if karate is, they don't call it a demo sport anymore, but if it's more than just in for the 2020 games. And if it is, then it's really cemented in the Olympic Games.
No, exactly. That's a good segue because the IOC has decided to pick Paris for 2024.
That's right.
And to pick LA for
2028,
which is weird because normally there's like the announcement's coming, and then both cities they fill their biggest stadiums, and then they
have a fight to the death.
Yeah, that's right. They fight to the death. One side against the other.
That's right.
And then the IOC president says the name. You can't quite understand because of his European accent, and then he flips the card, and then you go, "Oh, that city,
LA."
Okay. And so that didn't happen. It was just like a bunch of guys in a room going, "All right, well, you can have it, and you guys have it next time."
Yeah.
Which really is because it's so expensive. No one's really made any money off it except London in the last 30 years. And they're worried people won't bid for it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just too.
Although I heard Toronto's still looking to get it, right? Like
they haven't. Not I haven't. Maybe the Big Smoke. Sorry, guys.
Big Smoke
has made some plans, but with this now, like 2028 is out of the option.
Yes.
So we talked about this a while ago. 2032, they're not going to put in North America.
No.
Right. So Asia opens up, Southeast Asia. South America can even open up again.
Yeah.
So really, they could be looking at 2040 or 2044.
Seems so long away.
I know. So it's more of a possibility to maybe get the Winter Olympics because that rotation was 2010. So by 2030, there's another chance.
Yeah.
I think for the Olympics, they really have to move to a model of like the World Games. Like you're not allowed to build anything for it.
Yeah. And the World Games, as we know, for karate, probably the last World Games that we're going to see was last month, pardon me. The last World Games, because you can only be in the World Games if you're not an Olympic sport. Karate, obviously. But
you're recognized by the IOC.
You're recognized by the IOC. But now karate's in the Olympics, so that's it for the World Games, probably for karate. But you had something written here that you think that the World Games should move to a no infrastructure building model.
Yeah, actually, the Olympic Games should move to
the Olympic Games.
Sorry.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I think if they did something like that, they said 10,000 athletes, and so many sports, and that's it. Now if a country, obviously they might have some facilities, but I think they have to get to a model where either the games are smaller.
Yes. It's
split up a bit. I think the brand is there.
Yes.
So they have to do something with it. And so for karate, we'll find out. Now, if it's Paris, most likely karate will be in. And then in 2024, they'll announce if karate is in for 2028.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah. So it goes every 4 years.
Okay.
Now. They announce the schedule. So I'm almost positive they'll be in for 2024 in France. France is a huge karate organization.
Yeah. So that'll be good. But we also know that, what we don't know, but what we speculate here is that the Winter Olympics in 2018
we have no idea yet. We have no idea. But if things go south in South Korea and North Korea. Like if it gets, there's a lot of rhetoric right now with the United States and North Korea
Yes.
that could cancel the 2018 Winter Olympics.
It's just absolutely
in
crazy
Pyeongchang.
right now.
Yeah, it's the North Korea has enough just regular conventional artillery across the border, and Seoul is really close to the border, that they could hit every inch of Seoul in the first hour of a conflict. There's that much artillery.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So they could put up a really, really big fight for the first little while. Now, I remember when I was in Japan in the 90s, and there's a cycle. You know, you can look at newspaper articles from the 90s, from the 80s, from the 70s, all complaining about North Korea. But from the 90s, North Korea is starting to get atomic energy and knowledge and stuff. And even back then, there was a moment like this moment. And Clinton said there'll
be fire and fury.
Very close.
Really?
He said something like, and I was trying to find for it the other day. It was like walls of fire.
Okay.
We would send walls of fire or something like that. And you know, North Korea is really bellicose with their language. Like, you know, I mean, North Korea has to realize not crazy. They're crazy, but not super crazy. Where they're going to have to turn back at one moment. Because it's pretty big. It's a pretty big deal.
Pretty big deal. Pretty crazy. Do you think any conflict with 2020?
Oh, if there's a shooting war with North Korea, 2020 may never happen.
Yeah.
Because they can reach every point of Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look back at, I mean, this is really serious conversation, right? But it does affect the karate global area, because remember the best karate really comes out of conflict zones.
Yes.
Right. Like, post-conflict zones. So here we're talking about big conflict. When in the early 90s there was the Iraq War, right? The first one.
Okay.
Because Iraq invaded Kuwait, so then a big coalition of countries got together and pushed the Iraqi army back into Iraq, and they actually cut half of Iraq off. And but during that time, Iraq was firing random Scud missiles at Israel. And then the United States and Israel had to try and shoot them down, right? So in an act of desperation, creating terror and stuff like that. So North Korea could technically do that. They could shoot, you know, Scuds, and they actually have Scud missiles, and they could shoot, you know, conventional and nuclear weapons. So until, you know, Donald Trump wipes them out with nuclear weapons.
Just get rid of all this missiles, all these nuclear weapons. They should just have a kumite match.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
First
North Korea
points.
Against South Korea.
First to 8 points.
Best Taekwondo kick.
Best Taekwondo kick. Or flying side kick.
Oh, best flying side kick. Whoever can do a triple in the air with a spin.
Or highest flying side kick.
Highest flying side kick. Yeah. So
we're on to something.
You know, there's a lot of language, but I think it's like any negotiation. One person goes to extreme, and then the other side, you have to kind of work to the middle.
Yes, yeah.
So someone said to me the other day, "Oh, Victoria, you'd be super safe in a shooting war, right?" The one of the largest stockpile of nuclear weapons in the world is 100 kilometers from here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the United States, at like a nuclear submarine base in Washington State.
Interesting.
Yeah, only 100 kilometers from here, and it's one of the largest in the entire world.
Yeah, we'll be safe.
Yeah. There's maybe half a mountain range between us. Yeah.
So there we go.
But let's hope that, if anything was to happen in 2018, you would see all the plans, everything for 2020 be shelved. Now, when the Korean War was happening from 50 to 53, that really, really helped Japan, because all the factories in Japan got a big, quick boost of building things for South Korean Army and the U.S. Army. And that money went into Japan, and obviously big economic boost. And then it helped push karate around the world, because you got all these Japanese companies getting really strong. So, but in this case, it's a different type of shooting war.
Yeah.
So let's hope nothing happens.
Let's hope for the best.
Hope for the best.
All right, let's dive into a little bit of technical tactical of the week.
Absolutely. Hey, do you use any software, like video coaching software?
Do I use any software? Any
Do
software.
you videotape people and show them technique?
I'm quite familiar with Dartfish.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know that's something that you've used and that you're going to talk about here a little bit. Dartfish is the most familiar with me. I know some people have used the Coach's Eye. You put the Coach's Eye here, which I'm not familiar with. Dartfish I do like because you can really break things down, and you can I'm a numbers guy. You can look at the angles and all that kind of stuff. So I'm most familiar with Dartfish.
So what we're talking about here is to improve your performance in anything, especially karate.
Yeah.
And videotape it at the minimum on your smartphone, on your tablet, and then if you can get Dartfish, get Coach's Eye, and then slow it down, speed it up. You can draw lines on it. Some of them you can put videos side by side.
Yes.
You can put you can put what you want to be and where you're at.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Some people are really nervous about looking at themselves perform, but after, if you give it to kids, they just love it. They videotape themselves.
For
they
sure.
do it again. They videotape themselves. Do it again.
Yeah, and I think everybody's kind of getting used to doing video and that kind of thing. I did in my undergrad. I think I might have told this story before. Biomechanical analysis. We got to do any kind of movement that we wanted. Well, I chose a spinning back kick. So what I did is I used Dartfish. I used cameras from all different angles, and then looked at the different angles and what it took to perform a successful spinning back kick as a beginner, as a novice, and as an expert. So it's 3 different people perform the kick. Put them in side by side, and it was pretty good. I think I got it actually. I wonder if this is going to work. I just brought this up here at my computer in front of me, but you can kind of see. Oh, that's not it. That's one of them though. But this is basically one of the things here. Anyways,
check out the hair.
Yeah, not me. That is for sure not me. I could have brought this up earlier, but
no, it's okay. So, and there's lots of other software out there. These are really popular.
Sure. Yeah. Dartfish is really easy to use too.
So what else? So whether you're just using it on your smartphone or you're using some sort of analysis software, what should you be looking for other than just the conformance? You can easily use the WKF kata judging criteria. So one, does it conform to the style you're looking for?
Yes.
That's number one.
Yeah.
So, right. So for the style in your club, or even just how you're using it for, again, you can use this for kumite. If you're looking at any type of kata or kihon performance, they have the technical one, which is stances, techniques, transitional move, timing, synchronization, correct breathing, kime, focus. It's like the critical instant, right? Like the critical moment, and technical difficulty. And then for athletic performance, strength, speed, balance, rhythm. And Kalen's going to say, I'm not totally agree with that one. Did you say that before? You don't agree with strength, speed?
Oh, yes, that's right. I don't agree with strength. I think
Speed.
power should be there more so than strength. That's right.
But, that's a really easy way to look at it. And then for kumite, it's the same sort of stuff. Think about your beginning, middle, and end.
Yes.
And how you set it up, and just videotape it. You know.
And the good thing about these softwares is you can really slow it down. Obviously, karate is very explosive, fast movements, but you can really slow down your movement and really look at what I used to really like, because you could see like your extra movements. Like, oh, maybe I'm not picking up my back heel when I throw my gyakuzuki, or maybe I'm going too far forward in this, or whatever it is. So you can really break down your own technique, and then, like you said, you can compare it to a professional, not professional, but a top level athlete, and you can see where the differences are. And I think that's where a lot of that fun comes in.
I think it's fun when you pick a kumite video that you like, oh, that was kind of interesting. Pick one, there's so much content out there, right?
Yeah.
And take that video, try it yourself, and then videotape yourself, and then put the 2 videos side by side.
Yes.
And it becomes glaringly obvious. Now, when you do that, you take the first 5 to 10 seconds of movement beforehand.
Yes.
To set up how the rhythm of the fight is going, set up how that person's bouncing, and you just start seeing things you hadn't seen, like where the footsteps were, and then roll it up. So you got the video.
So this is the Dartfish thing that I have here. This was like an intermediate person, a novice, and a professional, so to speak. And you can really break it down and show the angle. So what I was looking at in the spinning back kick, this is from when you're actually shooting it, is how far away your leg is, like what the angle is from your stance leg to your kicking leg. So, I just determined here there's 45 degrees, and for the less experience, it got wider and wider. So you're really bringing that leg all the way around. So it's cool. You can kind of look at this and break it down in this way. I really like using Dartfish. Yeah.
So if you're an instructor, what's the coolest thing? Like, soccer mom, soccer dad's gonna love to see they just took a tablet out, or you got their phone and you videotaped them, right?
Yeah.
Right. what's the athlete gonna think? Wow, we're really taking it seriously now, right?
For sure.
And then with Google Documents, you can download right into a shared folder.
Yes.
And you can look at it. Now it takes time, but we're really giving them more service. Now, let's go back. We're now an Olympic sport.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's be an Olympic sport.
Absolutely.
Right?
And I think that's not just karate. I think all combat sports are starting to catch up now, but we're light years behind other professional sports in terms of the actual science behind it and technology advancements and how we can use that to improve performance. But now we're rolling. Like karate and all the combat sports are just already starting to use all this science, all this technology.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now this is just an idea. You got to go out and use it.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't mean anything. Everyone's full of ideas. Very few people are full of execution.
Yeah, that's very true.
Gotta go use it.
That's very true.
Gotta do it.
The cool thing about this too is it's so easy on your phone to download. There's all kinds of apps you can get, right? Like we've named a few, but you can find anything that can help you out. Even with our fitness testing now, I'm starting to look at, well, what are some ways that we can just use our iPhone? Like there's now a vertical jump app you can use where you don't even need to do anything. You just need to have your phone, and it'll show you how high you can jump.
There was an app I had for a while. It was how fast your throw was.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
So it just turns your phone into a little accelerometer.
And then it was a punch. I remember like, should I tape this to my fist? Because knowing me,
I'm
going to throw the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. And then it was a baseball one. There was a punching one too. So you had to like throw a punch, like a baseball, like
pitch?
Boxing punch.
Oh, boxing punch, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then if your technique was bad, it was like, and I don't know how it totally knew it from the angle,
So
but
you're bad.
it was just like, they would give you a bell and then ding, you're like, oh, okay. I had a really good spin on that one.
Cool.
So
I also have looked at these. They're called Hyxo boxing pad. It's just a little chip that you can put in your glove, and it'll tell you how fast you're punching. I'm gonna get those, and I'm gonna play around with them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely.
See how fast you're punching.
Right on.
Technological advances, use it for sure.
Right on.
All right, let's talk a little bit of fitness for karate. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the 3 different types of muscular contractions and how they relate to karate performance. So let me just tell you, first of all, real quick, what the different types of contractions are. Now, I'm going to use a bicep curl as an example because it's really easy. Everybody knows what it is.
Curls for the girls.
Curls for the girls, suns out, guns out. When you're at the bottom and you're pulling the arm up, that's called the concentric contraction.
Mm-hmm.
When you're letting it go, it's the eccentric. So when the muscle shortens, when the angle shortens, that's concentric. When it lengthens, it's eccentric. When it stays the same, it's isometric. So nothing changes, but you're developing force. Well, in karate, we do these. We do all of these different contractions in different type of things. If you think about in kata, when you're holding a stance, that's an isometric contraction. Your legs are not moving. The angle isn't changing. You're holding the stance. And of course, you explode to another stance, but that's a different contraction. So you're holding that. So if you're a kata athlete and you want to train the isometric, your stances, you should be training your muscles isometrically. So even just doing your wall sits, or you can do kind of any type of leg pressing thing where the angle's not moving, but you're pushing against resistance and really firing up those muscles without actually moving them. If you're talking about like an actual throwing of a punch, that's mostly a concentric action of the arm and of the chest. So you want to train your muscles in those different ways. So just kind of think about it. Is the muscle shortening? Is it lengthening? At what points is it shortening and lengthening? And then, specificity, train in those muscles in that same direction. So if it's shortening at the punch, we use the wall push quite a bit against a rebound wall. That's a really great one to mimic a punch because it's the concentric action of a punch. So just kind of think about that. Think about what type of athlete you are, what type of movements and contractions are you using, and how can you train that in the gym to help your performance.
What would be like 5 basic exercises you could do in the gym if you're just a regular person going to the dojo? That would improve these.
That would break it down. All right. Yeah. Squats, for sure. Squats, always.
Sumo squats or regular squats?
Regular squats, because I'm just saying that more so because sumo squats require a little bit more technique.
Okay.
So just go with your regular back squats.
Okay.
Box jumps or some kind of jump squats as well.
Box jumps, okay.
Just because it gets you that explosiveness. Wall sits. I'm going to throw wall sits in there. They're easy.
There we go, everybody. Wall sits.
And people don't utilize the wall sit enough, but I mean, it's awesome. You really, when you're doing those isometric contractions where nothing's moving, you're actually using all the motor units, all the muscles in your whatever muscle you're using. So you're fatiguing everything. Like you're using all the muscles in there.
We've been doing wall sits in kata practice.
Great. Perfect.
Box jumps, we've got in the corner over there tons of mats.
Yes.
And you just pull the mats out and have them box jump up.
Yeah. So those are good. I really like the medicine ball toss too, some kind of pushing motion. I like to do the medicine ball on your back on like a Bosu or something, so your back's off the ground and you're just using your arms and you're pushing them as hard as you can. So you're really just using your pushing motion. And then also working with bands, doing some kind of rotational movement. So actually tonight in class we did like a wood chopper where you have a band and you pull as fast as you can. That's really going to train your hips to turn nice and explosively and to get the hips fired up for when you throw a punch. So those are my 5.
There you go.
Just like that.
Like it.
Didn't even think about it. I just fired them out.
The professional that you are.
There we go. That's what it is. So there's that fitness training tip. Think about the muscle contractions. Think about the type of athlete you are and train them in the
what we'll be talking about
way.
next week? I'll be using all those
driving everybody. So how do we do this? How do we do that? How do we do that?
I always tell them, okay, so Kalan said we have to do this for this week. And they're like, all right.
Okay, whatever. Here we go. All right, there we go. Before we kind of move on here, have you heard the GSP news?
I did. He signed. I saw the picture. He's going to come back and fight
November 4th.
November 4th.
Fight Michael Bisping for the middleweight title.
Is it a really difficult match for him to come back to?
No. Not at all. In fact, he's probably going to be the favorite. I would imagine. Michael Bisping's a little bit older. I think he's approaching 40. He's had a lot of fights. Actually, the most. Actually, I think in UFC.
Then he should just win on a Yakuzuki alone.
yeah, totally. In fact, he might. I mean, the big question, of course, is what kind of GSP are we going to see? We haven't seen him for 3 years, right? So.
Well, I never saw a GSP fight live broadcast.
Oh no,
because I was in Japan the whole time.
Of course. Yeah.
So I came back. He retired before I came back.
Okay.
And when I was in Japan, obviously UFC was getting really big, but
Yes,
I was just so engrossed in the karate world.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah. No, it's going to be big. November 4th. The whole card is really good, but of course everybody wants to look at GSP and see what happens there.
Oh, that'll be amazing. Well, it's another athlete who crossed over who did really well.
That's right.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
That'll be good. All right, just going back to the karate world, there's a couple upcoming tournaments that we wanted to talk about a little bit before we get out of here. So the JKA World Championships, August 18th to 20th in Limerick, Ireland, are coming up.
Awesome. Hosted by Guinness.
There we go. What else we got?
PKF Junior Cadet and U21 Championships, August 24th to 26th, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Very big tournament.
Yes.
Next one.
Next, also, we have the WKF K1 German Open, September 8th to 19th in Halle.
This is in Germany. This is, I believe it's a 3-hour drive southeast of Berlin or northeast of Berlin. One of the two. Yep. This is the last K1 of the year, I think.
That's right. I think, yeah.
That's right. And then next one is the seventh Karate Do Goju-Kai Global Championship, September 28th to October 1st in Richmond, BC, at the Richmond Oval. I'll actually be there helping out. They had to change. They had all these posters and stuff with World Championships, and they had to change them to global because of the WKF rule.
Yeah.
They have a lot of people in this group. This goes. I think they said just in Indonesia alone, there's 500,000 members.
Whoa, crazy!
Yeah. So this is a really big 5-day event at the end of the whole thing. I think.
Cool.
Since 3 days, but they're going to be here for a long time. So, it's neat to have a style world championship.
Global championship.
Global, because we just had there was a Shitoru style one that was 2 weeks ago.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Congratulations to. I think I saw some athletes from Campbell River who actually, for Nigel's club, I think one of his athletes won a gold medal in kata.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah. Congratulations to them.
Absolutely. All right, so those are the upcoming tournaments coming up in the rest of this month, August, and as well as going into September.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was still trying to get the AAU U.S. National Championships results, but they said they actually sent me a message back. They've been having problems with their website.
Oh,
yeah. So if we ever get those, we'll let you know, because that was a really big event. In the karate world. And then we have some fun karate news next week. Some pretty interesting.
things coming
stuff
down.
coming
Yeah.
up.
Perfect.
Yes, let's
So
chat
stay
about it.
tuned. Don't forget, guys, these episodes are live every Thursday night around 9 p.m. Keep an eye on that. We'll be announcing that. And then they are available for download Monday mornings on all your podcast platforms, iTunes, Google Play, as well as on YouTube and all that kind of stuff as well.
Absolutely.
Where can they find you?
Everywhere at Richard Mosdell and here at Kenzen Sports Karate. And chat with us. We've been doing the karate mat chats video.
Yes,
every day.
love those. I like it. It's good. It's really good.
Thanks.
And for myself, at Kalan Anglos, all the social media stuff, KalanAnglos.com.
Get the knowledge. I love reading your stuff.
Get knowledge.
Get knowledged up.
There we go.
The better knowledge you have, the better you are.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, that just about wraps up this episode of the Karate 360 podcast. We thank you for listening in, tuning in, and supporting.
Oh, next week we won't be live.
We won't.
Because I'll be in Canmore near Banff. So unless we can figure it out.
Yeah, we won't be live next week.
we won't be alive. We will be alive.
Oh, we'll be alive.
Yeah.
We won't be live.
The recordings are still going to come out on a regular basis.
Yes.
But we won't be live at 9 p.m. next Thursday.
No, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening in. We'll talk to you later. This is Karate 360. My name is Kalan Anglos.
I'm Richard Mosdell.
And we'll talk to you next week.
San Rokumaru.